Namaskar. I am Dr. Sakshi Sharma, Assistant Professor at the University Centre for Research and Development, Chandigarh University. I welcome you to my Swayam course titled Indian Knowledge System and Environment, Ancient Wisdom for Sustainable Futures. India has one of the richest intellectual heritages in the world, known as Bharatiya Gyan Samhit or the Indian knowledge system. What makes this Indian knowledge system so special is that it does not separate the science, philosophy, spirituality, or human life. Instead, it views everything nature, humans, consciousness, society, and the cosmos as interconnected. For thousands of years, this wisdom has been preserved through the Guru Shishya traditions and the written texts such as Ved, Upanishads, Ayurveda, Yoga Shastra, and treatises like Vriksh Ayurveda. This course builds on that foundational understanding and explores how India's traditional knowledge can guide us in addressing modern environmental challenges, including biodiversity, climate change, water scarcity, and sustainable development. The objectives of this course are fourfold. First, to introduce you to the philosophical foundation of Indian knowledge system and its ecological worldwide. Second, to study traditional Indian environmental practices, whether in water conservation, agriculture, health, or architecture, and understand how they relate to modern sustainability. Third, to connect the Indian knowledge system to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals to understand its global relevance. And finally, to empower you to propose Indian knowledge system based solution that can be applied to in today's environmental issues. This is a 13-week, 3-credit course mapped to NCRF Level 6. Across these weeks, we will explore 30 well-designed modules that move from the foundational concepts to applied sustainability. In the first week, we begin by understanding what the Indian knowledge system is, its scope, its philosophy, and its connection with the Sustainable Development Goals. We will explore ideas like Janana, Vijanana, and Jivan Darshan and the principles of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which highlights the oneness of all beings. In the second week, we go deeper into the Vedic and Upanishad ecology. We will study the Panchabhuta, the 5 elements of earth, water, fire, air, and space, and understand how they are the basics of ecological balance. We also explore India's sacred plants and biodiversity traditions. In the third week, we look at India's traditional water management systems such as stepwells, johads, ahar, pine. We all study the inspiring revival of johads in Rajasthan and link these practices to SDG 6 on clean water. Week 4 focuses on the agriculture. We explore the Vriksh Ayurveda, indigenous farming technique, and seed preservation and intercropping. We will also look at Sikkim Organic Mission as the modern example of traditional principle in action. In the week 5, we shift to the Ayurveda and yoga. We examine preventive health care, immunity boosting traditions, and the role of yoga in mental and physical well-being, connecting these ideas with the SDG 3. Week 6 takes us into the education system of ancient India. We explore the Gurukul model, the emphasis on skill-based learning, and the modern integration such as NEP 2020 and the Indian Knowledge System division at IIT Delhi. In week 7, we study biodiversity conservation through sacred groves, community forests, and the movements like Chipko movement. We will also discuss the Forest Right Act and the protection of indigenous ecological knowledge. Week 8 focuses on the Vastu Shastra and the sustainable cities. Here we look at the ancient urban planning tradition and their modern relevance in green building design. In week 9, we explore India's long-standing tradition of recycling and zero-waste living. We study circular economy practices and terracotta as the biodegradable alternative to modern wasteful materials. Week 10 highlights the contribution of indigenous communities like the Bishnois, Santhals toward the climate action. We will also examine the ecological teaching and the Atharva Veda and their relevance to SDG 13. Week 11 focuses on the livelihoods. We explore how Indian knowledge system supports sustainable rural economies through organic farming, panchakarma, handicraft and the Khadi movement. Week 12 look at institutional and policy frameworks. Ayush, the National Mission on the Indian Knowledge System and India's climate policies, while also discussing challenges like documentation, intellectual property right and the modernization. Finally, the week 13 serve as the capstone week. Here, learners will integrate all the concepts studied through the course. Students will participate in reflections, group discussions and the project presentations. They will also prepare a policy proposal or sustainability model based on Indian knowledge system principles. This week emphasizes how the Indian knowledge system can serve as practical blueprint for the global sustainability in the 21st century. By the end of this course, you will be able to understand the ecological foundations of the Indian knowledge systems, analyze traditional practices in the light of sustainable development goals, evaluate case studies, and propose Indian knowledge system based solutions for contemporary environmental issues. You will also develop enhanced skill in environmental communication, sustainability planning, and heritage-based innovation. This course is aligned with NCRF Level 6 and carries 3 credits. It supports employability in environmental policy, sustainable consulting, organic farming, Ayush and wellness sectors, curriculum development, green architecture, community conservation, and NGOs working towards sustainable development. I warmly invite you to join me on this journey of rediscovering India's ecological heritage. Together, we will explore ancient Indian wisdom, which can help build a more sustainable and harmonious future. Dhanyavad.